All right, guys, it's lunchtime. We're gonna talk about the Braxton sisters. Tamar, Trey. Well, rest in peace, Tracy. Um, Trina, Tawanda, and of course Toni. They have a niece named Ashley. Is that her name? And everyone, it appears that they were speaking about Trina's ex, Gabe. May he rest in peace. I actually liked Gabe on the show, but Gabe, I forgot what he died of. I don't know if it was cancer or what, but Trina did help him. She took care of him in the end. They had a rocky relationship. They would break up, make up. She cheated, he cheated. I don't want to speak ill of the dead. I'm not speaking ill of the dead. I'm just, we all saw the show. Hello, Nicole. So apparently, Tamar had wanted to interview this niece on her podcast, and she received a cease and desist. Not sure which. Hold on, let me see if I can find this. Um, what's this? The neighborhood talk. Because I recorded NEIGHP neighborhood talk. Okay, let me go. Let me try to find what they posted about the Braxtons. Let me find it. They post so much stuff. It may be all the way down here now, and it was just posted yesterday. And you guys may have seen it. Okay, let's listen to this.
Hello. Hi. We have had a series of unfortunate events in the Braxton family lately.
What we were told is you didn't want to film with us.
Well, you already know why I want to film with y'all.
Wait a minute, hold on. My niece Ashley, who we love very much, posted her videos on social media with some accusations about her family. My family was a little surprised.
Well, there was a lot going on the internet.
Tamar announced that she would be interviewing our niece Ashley on Tamar's podcast. I didn't think it was a good idea.
I am getting Ashley here. You're not going to make me feel bad about that. I wanted her to come to a safe place to tell her story.
And all of this happened right before we started shooting season 2 of the Braxtons.
Next thing I know, y'all tried to shut down my entire
Don't
business.
say y'all.
Sending a cease and desist and shutting down my business. Hello. Hi. Exhibit B. The cease and desist. I got a cease and desist before Ashley was on my podcast. I didn't even say anything. I was not involved in any way, shape, or form of sending a cease and desist letter. My name was nowhere on it. Nobody wanted to come to my defense.
So you're going to sit there and say, Toni Braxton?
Toni Braxton, I got
Toni
Toni
Braxton. No. Toni Braxton ain't never had your back.
I got Toni Braxton.
I want to know.
I want to be.
Say, I don't have your back.
You didn't have
No,
my back when it.
with a heavyweight, don't put me, Tamar. Don't put Toni Braxton.
And then when Toni said we need to have her on the show, I told you we need to have Ashley on the show.
I never say that. I never said that.
She's what's wrong with my mother? Don't swear your mother.
I said just show her the chitlin circuit, and we shouldn't do it.
You said have her on the Braxton show. You said that. This is not the farm. You said that.
Don't you go there.
Don't you? Oh, Exhibit B. Just listen to this.
Okay, so I want to tell us.
All right, so it looks like Toni wanted the niece to come on to the main Braxton show and tell the story. I hate story time. I hate folk who got to tell a story because they always want to include everybody else in it. So it's not your story. You're trying to throw other people under the bus and put other people's business out there that may not even be correct when you don't know, especially when you don't know shit and you just making up something. You want to tell, I want to tell my story, but you want to include everybody and your mama and they mama, and the shit don't even be the truth. I don't like story. I've never liked story. I'm not a good storyteller. Because I despise it. Hey, Follette girl, I thought you took a break from YouTube. What's going on? All right, so let's get to it. Let's listen to Ashley tell her story. Evidently, Trina's husband. Well, let's just play this first. Hold up.
I know what y'all think.
Oh, let's just play this. Let's play the young girl Ashley telling her story. Okay. Let's do that.
Okay, so I want to tell a story today. And that story is about how one of my aunts and my family do not talk to me because they think that I, at the age of 16, did something with her partner at the time.
So she says one of her aunts, which is a Braxton sister, aka Trina Braxton, has cut her off and does not speak to her, turned her back on her, stabbed her in the back because she thinks that she slept with her husband, partner at the time. May Gabe rest in peace.
And I have been a nervous wreck to talk about something like this and to tell this story. A, because of my family. B, because I don't want people, it's not to hurt people to tell my story. But at the same time, I've been working through this so much.
People kill me. Hey, Billy. They don't want to hurt people when they tell their story. It's BS. But she has a right if she wants. But just be 100. Just keep it 100. Just say you're probably gonna throw a bunch of people under the bus, and you want to say stuff probably that you don't even know to be true, and you just want to get in there and talk about folks. You want to bring attention to yourself. You may want sympathy. I mean, it depends on whatever the story may be. I don't feel like what gets me is I hate story time because no one can tell no one's story but themselves. So if she's gonna talk about only herself, then cool. But if you have to throw someone else in there, then no, that's not your story. But that's my opinion and my opinion only. And if you don't like it, you don't have to listen.
In therapy, and this is something that goes way deep to my core in terms of worthiness and how I feel about myself. And it's been such a journey. Okay. And it's that moment of my life where I have to like fully confront it and face it and talk about it, but talk about it because I also want to shed light for the women and the men and anybody who has gone through something like this, where you were underage and something in that sort of manner happened in terms of that sort of word of abuse. And I feel like I have to be careful with what I'm saying here because I don't want to be banned from talking about these situations, but also we kind of have to talk about it. I'm also not very good at storytelling and I'm new to all this and I'm also trying to get ready at the same time and tell a story. And I feel like the story is quite complicated and detailed. So like bear with me here.
So this story she's telling is the reason she says that her aunt Trina, she didn't say her name, but everyone knows who it is. Trina Braxton, who's married to another man now, a black man. Gabe was Mexican or white, whatever. She had one son with him, and I think Trina already had a son that Gabe raised as his own. Okay. We all know when the Braxtons first came out, Trina was a hot firecracker. Okay, she drank a lot, she partied a lot. The first episode, she got arrested for DWI, and you guys, I watched the Braxtons. I watched all of it. So Trina has definitely changed and grown up, and doing different things. Her and her husband, they cook live on Instagram and YouTube a lot. She's married to an older black man now. But okay, let's just listen.
Me here. And it's that, yeah. So one of my aunts does not talk to me because I guess she felt like I did something with her partner at that time. And nothing happened, but I'm going to try to tell the story quickly and also not name any names. And so I was with this aunt for the summer with my sister, and I can't remember how much time had passed since we were there in the summer for a little bit of time to when we got home. And when I think it was my stepmother was going through my phone and she found this conversation. This
So was her and her sister went because they live in Baltimore. This is the Braxton's brother's daughter, Ashley. She evidently went to Atlanta and spent the summer with Trina and her husband and uh, partner and family, her and her sister. So the brother sent his daughters down there to be with his sister for the summer. You know, like I'm going down south. I'm going to Atlanta for the summer. I'm going to stay with Aunt Trina. So when she gets back, her daddy's wife, the stepmama, goes through her phone and finds a text conversation between Gabe and her. Let's listen.
stepmother was going through my phone and she found this conversation, this sort of conversation. And she showed it to my dad, and my dad called that aunt, and we spoke about it, and we talked about it a little bit. And
Somebody always, can you all still hear me? Or did that phone call mess me up? Can you all still hear and see the picture, or did the phone call mess me up? I need to know before I go any further. Hello? Y'all can still hear? Okay. All right. But a black screen? Okay, wait a minute. Okay, everything should be back to normal. Can y'all see the picture now? Philette, Billy? Are we good? Because I want to, that's who's talking. Okay. So this is the okay, and Lee Andrew, who said, oh, so Trina never had any kids with Gabe. Both of her kids she just had by other white men or Mexican men. Okay. She don't have any kids by a black man. Okay. Trina always, but now she's married to a black man. But she always dated, she liked white guys. She said it. No, so okay, that happened when she was 16. When she's finally told the story, she's 32. Now, the aunt didn't go through her phone. Her daddy's wife, her stepmother, went through her phone when she got back home. I don't know why she went through her phone. I guess something told her to go through the phone.
so, yeah, my aunt was there for me. She was very kind and very nice and was like, I'm so sorry that this happened to you. Blah, blah, blah.
So she's saying when the stepmother went through the phone. Hold up, we gotta let me go back just a little bit.
So, oh my God, it's been 16 since we were there in the summer for a little bit of time to when we got home. And when I think it was my stepmother was going through my phone and she found this conversation, this sort of conversation. And
She's being very vague. She said my stepmother was going through my phone and she found this sort of conversation. So sort of conversation, whatever conversation it was, it prompted her daddy, Trina's brother, and her stepmother to call Trina Okay.
And she showed it to my dad, and my dad called that aunt, and we spoke about it, and we talked about it a little bit. And I remember just a lot of emotions, was a lot going on. I was 16. It's yeah. So oh my God, it's been 16 years. This is anyway. Okay. So yeah, my aunt was there for me. She was very kind and very nice. I was like, I'm so sorry that this happened to you. Blah blah. And
So at first, Trina was there for her. She said, "Oh, I'm so sorry this happened to you." They weren't blaming her for whatever Gabe said in the text messages. I don't know. We don't know what they said, but it prompted the daddy to call his sister and say, "What did your man say to my daughter?"
blah blah blah. But she was very kind, and it just felt like safe, you know. But then as the years had gone by, it's like that mood and that
But as the years went by, the aunt turned on her and wants to blame her for whatever happened when she was 16. And we all know that she forgave Gabe of everything. She took care of Gabe to the end. So she switched it. She blamed the 16-year-old niece for everything, and said and the man, and just took all or nothing against him.
assumption that I didn't do anything because I was a child was not that assumption anymore. And it boggled my mind because it was like, wait, but if it happened or if it was true, then that would make him, you know, and like, you're okay with that?
A
Like,
pedo.
that's what you would like. So, oh my God, it's to hear. And I will just never forget how when I got older, I really had to take the time and go back to that part of my life and understand how much feeling of like I didn't matter, that I was unworthy. It just felt like love from my family was just cut off and gone.
Yeah, family would do that to you. Family would turn on you at the drop of a dime. And those type of family members ain't worth shit. And you never ever have to deal with them again. I would treat them the same. I would treat them the same way they treat you or me. Whatever you give me, I'm giving it back to you. You show me you a piece of a shit as a family member, you're gonna be treated as such for the rest of my natural life. I'll never forget it. And this is what this girl needs to do. If Trina did her that, to hell.
And you're like, but wait, that guy? And it made it even worse because it was like, wait, this guy that was doing this to you on TV, and like it's kind of in cohorts in the same spirit of what was happening to hear.
And that was pretty much all she said. That's the only little excerpt that the neighborhood or Gossip City, wherever this came from, that's all they had on it. But let me see. Gabe and Trina. Let me see here. Let me see. Here they are on Ayana. Let's listen.
You know now that you didn't know when you got here that you want to share?
Yeah, there's quite a few things, but a couple of things is that I didn't know how much built up anger I had for Trina, and it was good to come here and release that, let it go. And I know it's not all the way released. It's going to take more counseling and therapy to get rid of some of it, but that's one thing definitely. And I don't know, it just feels good letting it out and having the voice and actually speaking up and saying,
Hey, Queen Black.
you know, letting people know that, you know what, I'm not going to put up with that. So.
I don't have any explanation for that. Unacceptable behavior, speaking, whatever, unacceptable. Well, as you go through your healing process and you go through, your counseling or your coaching or whatever you choose, you'll understand where that came from. The subjugation of yourself to the good of other people or the needs of other people. And in the same way you had anger built up towards her, she had anger built up towards you too. The thing that I really want you to get, and you and I talked a little bit about this, is that y'all were doing the same thing to each other. Your behavior was one thing, and it was the infidelity, but your behavior, the what's the word that we use? The emasculation. That was how you did it, and so. Well, for me, I'm gonna talk to my sons more. How about listen to your sons more? Yes. Well, communicate, talk, let them talk. I'm gonna, just spend more time together. Yeah. Because he felt abandoned, he felt neglected, and they don't know how to tell you. And that's also a pattern. The children not telling the mother the truth of their experience and allowing the mother to think how things are is okay. That's a pattern, isn't it? It is. Yeah. What are you going to do different?
I'm not going to let people treat me the way they want to treat me. More importantly, in a relationship, I'm not going to let that happen.
Yeah. What happened? What happened? I don't know. Your face just went sad. Tell me the truth. Don't lie.
Yeah, that original article says that Ashley was gonna tell about something her father and her uncle did to her.
I'm not trying to be smart. I'm not. I promise I'm not. Sure. But you really have to think about it. And I'm no counselor. But you can't just sit there and talk about how people treat you. You have to think about how you treat others as well. He's got to do one thing at a time, beloved. And right now, he's got to focus on how people treat him because he's never done that. Once he learns how to do that, then he can worry about how he treats other people. But right now, he's got to take care of him. He can only do one thing at a time, just like you. Absolutely. That's how I wasn't trying to judge. It's not a judgment. Adults.
Trina Braxton ex Gabe speaks of abuse. Let's see here.
To Miss Trina, so that both of them can begin the new lives they say they want. Why did you marry?
I did love you, and I enjoyed being with you. And you had something that I didn't have. You were very outgoing, but I don't know how to put my mind on it, but you
close your eyes and go in there and get it out of your heart, not out of your head.
You resembled something that I was used to. Which was being belittled and bullied, pushed around.
Okay, tell me what's happening. I didn't know. You didn't know. Good. Because you didn't tell her. What I wanted to tell you and didn't know how is. It's okay, Gabe. That's okay.
So that's Trina and Gabe. Gabe admits to spying Trina commences to screaming. What in the world? Tamar versus Gabe.
Trina. I could care less. We stick your ding-a-ling, where she been, where she going, who you catch up with. I just want to know why she gained weight, why she drinking like she don't have no liver, do she not want to be home, why did she file for a separation and y'all still in the same house? That is not the right behavior. It's silly. It's crazy.
I feel like because of everything that's happened, y'all family was so involved in everything. And you know what? Y'all gotta stop calling 9 a.m. in the morning. That's
damn
not
nuts.
cool.
A fool from outer space.
You know, y'all waking me up in the morning, y'all waking me up at night.
How you gonna ask somebody's sisters
You
not to call them at 9 o'clock or 9 o'clock at night? How you ask somebody?
Call 9
How
o'clock
you
in the
ask
morning?
somebody's sisters not to call them at 9 o'clock in the morning? That's a respectable time. Now I know why Trina's been acting the way she's acting. Because of your ass. Because you crazy as hell. And if I was her, I'd be going nuts too.
Well, thanks, Gabe, for talking to us.
Well, that was back on the show. This all goes back to what's happening now. That's Gabe. May he rest in peace. May he rest in peace. He's dead and gone, so he can't tell his side. So therefore, we'll never know the truth because he's deceased. How can you ever know the truth when one party is deceased? All you can do is expect, speculations and this, that, and the other. And I know one, Ashley, she's young. She may seem, like I don't know. It's a family affair, but they brought it out here. That's why I say don't do story time. Cause then people would just start making up shit, adding stuff just to make it dramatic, adding a bunch of lies. The Braxton brother is a piece of work. I wish I could find. Let me see. Ashley Braxton. Hold on. Did she ever tell the whole story? That's all she said. Ashley Braxton interview. Did she do an interview? Ashley Braxton painful past revealed.
Braxton is just. And this is where we see Toni Braxton and Tamar Braxton get into it over a cease and desist and whether or not Toni wanted their niece, Ashley Braxton, to be on the show.
Wait a minute. Toni Braxton.
So recently, I saw one of your publication on LinkedIn, and I stayed speechless because you mentioned that your mom gave up the custody of your sister, and she removed her name to your birth certificate.
Yeah, when I was younger, my parents were married, and then my parents got a divorce, and then my mom decided to give us up to my dad. And then she took her name off of our birth certificate and she decided to move on with her life. And she had a whole nother life and kids, and she was gone.
Welcome to Name a Podcast.
Oh
I
my.
made this podcast for you to learn, to be motivated.
So the mother was married to the Braxton brother, but they got a divorce and she left the two daughters. She just gave them to him and took her name off the birth certificate as though they never existed and moved on. He must have really been a piece of work, allegedly.
Yes.
Toni Braxton, Tamar Braxton, Tracy Braxton. Are they your relatives?
Yes, those are my aunts. They are, yes.
How are you related to them?
So my dad is their brother, and so they are my aunts.
Oh, that's so cool. So you have been born in US?
Yes.
And how have you ended up in Barcelona?
Wow. I've been traveling the world. And I moved from the US to Paris and then from Paris to Barcelona.
Why choose Barcelona?
She got the hell out of the US. I think I might move to Africa.
The mountain close by. But do you like it?
I love my country and where I'm from, but I also have this love for Europe, and it's just opened its arms to me, and I did the same to it. And so I feel like we have this special relationship. Europe and I were in a relationship.
Oh, that's so cool. Are you planning to stay in Barcelona, or you want to change the country in 1 to 5 years, and 10 years, or?
I don't know. I tend to kind of move with life, I like to say. So for the moment, I think Barcelona is a beautiful city, and I think Spain is an amazing country. And I think where we are located in Europe, you kind of have the best of all the worlds, as you were saying before. There's the sea, there's mountains, there's everything there. So I don't
Get to
see a
the good
reason to leave,
part.
but
Oh
at the
my
same
goodness. Let
time,
me
I
fast forward it.
just come from where I've come from and how global she is and well recognized and known, and the respect that she has. I don't know, it's very commendable.
So you've been in Barcelona for almost 5 years. Do you go for vacation, the US, or?
I don't. I haven't gone back to the States very often. The last time I went to the States, it wasn't for a fun reason, so I don't really go back home. But I do.
She not missing that family at all, is she? Family betrayed her. Family can be a mother for you. Do you hear me? Sneaky, dirty, low down.
Goodness,
Yeah, it was
congratulations. I'm
so
so
much
proud
fun.
of you.
Thank you.
Oh, you met a lot of people there.
I did. I loved
Yeah.
my job. I learned something new every day. I had no idea about sailing.
And people,
Jumping into this.
people will get to be like, "Oh, how can you do that as family?" You don't get to choose your family, and just because someone is your family, or they may have a drop of blood that you have, doesn't mean that they have your best interest at heart. They could literally work against you with your enemies or people that don't like you to literally destroy you. That's not family. That's a diehard enemy that you better treat as such.
And I stayed after, came early, learned about sailing, met the most incredible people, the American team. Shout out to you guys.
When is she gonna
American
talk
Magic
about her past?
belong on the stage. So there's that double nuance where I see it and I feel it, but then I'm like, no, but I have to be on the stage. We have to let the other women and the generation underneath us understand that no, we belong here too.
Yeah, this industry is very competitive. Do you use Braxton name to find more opportunities?
Yes and no. I think before I did, currently, no.
Name to your birth certificate.
Yeah.
And then your dad's
Remarried.
to another woman. And then what was your relationship with that woman?
It was good. My parents were very abusive to each other, and my stepmom was also very abusive to my sister and I as well.
Oh my.
Oh. And sometimes you had some physical violences?
Yeah, physical, mental, emotional, all of it. But from those two was physical. Well, I mean, it was all the abuse. And then she decided, to be that way with my sister and I. But then there were moments as well where my dad was also physically abusive as well.
Oh, how old were you
Wow.
that time? 6?
If I'm not mistaken, I think my dad remarried when I was 7, maybe 8. I don't remember the exact day, but that's kind of the only memories that I really have.
And that brother's so quiet. He never talks. And he run around there beating children.
My parents.
And what was the reaction of your aunties when your mom removed her name to your birth certificate because they're so famous?
You know what? Folks call you a whole lot of things. They can call me all kind of names. They can talk about my note, but I'm a damn good mother, honey. You just talk to Ashley and Rico.
And they were supposed to the brand name of the family. If you had someone want to adopt you or one invited to stay to their houses, what's happened with them, with your aunties?
No, my stepmom decided to put her name on our birth certificate. So she was kind of the person that stepped in, and she did step in and play a role. Like, I'm not going to discredit everything that she.
Yeah, Queen Black. He never talked. I can't recall him saying a word. Sitting there with them glasses. A damn pervert, probably.
That she has done. But I just knew very on from a young age that what was happening in my house was just not okay. The dynamic was not right. I always would seek out help. I mean, would talk to counselors. I went to church, so I would speak to people at church, and I acted out also.
And this family was heavily church oriented. It's always the heavily church oriented. I mean, it just sometimes they can be really weird.
Because I just knew that this life that I was living, it was like, why is this happening to me, to us?
And how about your sister? She faced the same as well, physical, mental, and emotional abuses. How she overcome it, your sister?
She got into drugs and she passed away, unfortunately.
Oh my God.
She was sick?
No,
this woman here, she was sick. Who is this? Well, anyway. So the girl overdosed. Oh my goodness, it drove her to drugs. All of the torment.
Well, we could say that she was sick in the mind because whenever anyone goes through any sort of...
Well, the birth certificate, the mother that had them out of her womb, after she divorced that crazy husband brother, she took her name off. She didn't want no more parts of that man. He's probably beating her. So then he remarried, and then that woman put her name on the birth certificate like she was the mother. She adopted the girls.
Abuse, you do become sick. But no, she overdosed.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay.
So you were like only two, you and your sister?
A lot of people are against abortion. But this woman was married when she had these two daughters. So she felt like she was gonna be happy and she kept them. But I'm not against abortion. I've never had one. Then you have adoption, but adoption ain't always the best thing either because you never know how adoptions are gonna turn out. They could be really fucked up too, I'm just saying. You just don't know what to do. So I guess you just shouldn't. Maybe you shouldn't have sex and and if you get but a lot of people, some people have babies and then later on in life they may get pregnant again and then they'll kill that one, i.e. an abortion. So you just never know.
Sister.
No, and then I have two half brothers.
You have a half brother from your stepmother.
Yes, from my stepmother.
Are you in a good relationship with your stepbrothers?
With one of them, I am, which is very fun.
Yeah.
I saw him for the first time in a long time. He came to Barcelona just a few months ago, and it was a lot. You know what I mean? At the same time, it was intense, but I was very happy to see him, and I was just happy that he could see me as well and get a lot of answers because he had a lot of questions. But also, I just wanted him to know that, I left at such an early age. For him, that was a question for me that he had.
Over a man who's long gone and deceased, who she knew to be a cheater, and she had caught him on the internet several times. That was all documented.
That I couldn't take everyone with me, but I was this, and so I just had to survive.
Oh, and what is your relationship now with your mom? Are you in a good relationship? Have you forgiven?
I have done an extensive amount of therapy to forgive her. We don't speak now. I reached out to her.
They probably shouldn't speak. They should never ever speak again. Her, the mama, the stepmama, the real mama, the fake mama, neither one. Just go on and live your life. Like Ricky Smiley say, just because your rest of your life to someone. You really don't. You do things out of the goodness of your heart. And people can take what I'm saying however they want. Really don't matter.
My sister passed away, and
I'm gonna have to finish this later.
Funeral, and she did not attend.
I gotta go back to work.
Just wrote me a note, and she said,
but I don't even think that mama went. I don't even think she's saying the mama didn't go. Hold up.
That she's sorry for the things that had happened, but at the same.
So she didn't even go to the funeral. So I don't know. Like the woman that raised her as her mother, I don't know if she'll go to that funeral. You would think out of respect she'd go to the funeral. The woman did raise her. But, sometimes people just despise someone. So even the one that decides to take them in and take care of them, they won't even go to that funeral. All right, guys. You guys have a wonderful day.